decided from a practical point of view to change the rules. Now, we don't know exactly what it's going to be now. It will be announced officially soon. But I think the direction things are heading in now is recognizing that we've got to live with the variants going forward in a safer manner and practical a manner as possible, using lateral flow tests, using our world-leading booster program, which is fantastic. We can protect our citizens, our businesses, with two lines of defense. One is the vaccines. Next, you have the lateral flow testing. The third, that now people are finally talking about, we've been calling out for this since January, is having repurposed new treatments. And the antivirals, for example, the Pfizer antiviral has shown in trials to reduce deaths and hospitalizations by 89%. Once that becomes available, that is a game changer in that you treat people, they take the tablets for 5 days, and you reduce the hospitalization and death. So the combination of those things, I think, is looking very optimistic ahead. We've got to get through this period right now.
You talk about the importance of mass testing and the valuable contribution to that made by lateral flow tests. Are you concerned at all that we are getting warnings from pharmacists today about the difficulty of getting hold of lateral flows in some areas, patchy supply problems currently? Does that worry you when everyone's building up to go back to work after the Christmas and New Year period?
Absolutely. The government has got to do everything it can to have these lateral flow tests freely available. Just earlier this month, we ran out. And that is not a good situation to be in, because the cost of these lateral flow tests, if you put that cost into context of the billions it costs when you restrict the economy, even with Plan B, let alone a lockdown, those costs, it cost us £400 billion to save the economy and businesses and livelihoods throughout this pandemic. The cost of having a huge supply of freely available lateral flow tests to businesses and to people in their homes or to pick up from pharmacies is, the cost benefit is off the scales. You just must have as many lateral flow tests as we can, because they are shown now time and again to be reliable and helping to identify people who have COVID. And we must use them to the maximum. The government must make them freely available and continue to have them freely available going forward, at least into the spring.
Lord Bilimoria, thanks so much for your time. Interesting to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Sky News. Do stay with us. Coming up, how 4 out of 5 children with disabilities are having to wait more than 18 months to be adopted.
We know the news can be tough. At times, hard to watch.
At times,
hard to report on.
Shocking, heartbreaking stories have felt
all too common.
With anger and division.
Often following.
We've also seen the very best.
Beautiful moments, inspirational stories.
So as we reach the end of 2021,
we thank you for being there with us.
Every step of the way.
And for whatever comes next.
I'm Stuart Ramsey, and I'm Sky's chief correspondent.
Well, there's a real sense now that people are beginning to expect that this whole airlift is coming to an end, and they're really, really desperate. We saw snatch squads going in, grabbing people and putting them into trucks. You either live and recover, or you die.
Okay, so that's like a war.
That's the war, yes.
We help you understand the world with us.
For the past 24 hours, the soldiers have been attacked on a number of occasions. It's really sending a clear message that Venezuela is eager for change. We've been crushed.
We take you to the heart of stories that shape our world.
They were convinced the United States would become hooked. Well, they were right. An enormous explosion has just come down. I think it was a monster's just landed in between us.
The information on this could bring down the entire network, not just in Iraq and Syria, but across the world.
It's not out of control, but they've withdrawn. It's so hot.
Sky News has seen research that suggests that almost 4 out of 5 children with disabilities wait more than 18 months to be adopted, more than any other group. And children who are harder to place, including siblings and over 5s, wait longer than others for a family. But for some, a very special family is formed, as Ali Fortescue reports.
There we go. Have a good day, William. Lovely.
With 5 children in different years, the end of the school day is always busy for Ben.
Bye-bye. Come on in, guys. Come on then. You're going to open the door.
There are, of course, challenges that come with having so many children with disabilities.
There we go. You had a lovely day.
But Ben never doubted his decision to adopt.
Jack is 14, Ruby is 11, Lily is 9, and then I've got Joseph, who is 6, and then Teddy sadly passed away in 2019, and then we've got Louis here, who was 3. You know, 1 turned into 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and I love every part of it. Did I necessarily choose to have 6 children? Possibly not. Am I glad I've got 6 children? Absolutely. You know, it is what I am meant to do.
Children with disabilities, as well as siblings and children from an ethnic minority, are less likely to be adopted. Research exclusively given to Sky showed that 35% of children in those groups waited 18 months or more for a placement, and that figure was more than double for children with disabilities.
I don't like to even think it or say it out loud, but yeah, we've had some very dark and difficult kind of thoughts and conversations.
Nick and Mary, not their real names, adopted 3 siblings, aged 3, 4 and 5, but say they weren't properly warned about their children's lasting trauma.
We feel that we were missold the package, you know, the children, they didn't, it seemed, themselves fully appreciate quite how traumatised the kids were and what they were likely to kind of experience.
There was a lot of screaming, night terrors, all sorts.
We do have a very good therapist and support now. We have our kids, you know, as imperfect as they are and as imperfect as we are. You know, we are a good little family now.
This isn't a decision, is it, that parents should take lightly, because there are huge challenges that can come with adopting a child with disabilities?
Yes. I mean, all the children in the care system are there for a reason and have had a very tough start in life. And for children who are disabled, they have a burden to carry throughout their life, which they can overcome with the love and support of a new family. But it is not to be gone into lightly. This is taking on parental responsibility forever, pledging your love forever.
Yeah. It's children like Ruby, who was born severely visually impaired, who, like her brother Jack, has learning difficulties. Children who so often are left behind.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
It is much more complicated than one success story, but Ben's is one of hope for a system under strain. Ali Fortescue, Sky News.
The Prime Minister has been speaking this morning about the fight against the Omicron COVID variant, so let's hear from Boris Johnson.
At the moment, can you give us an update on Omicron, how harsh it is, how bad it is, how serious it is?
Yes. The Omicron variant continues to cause real problems. You're seeing cases rising in hospitals, but it is obviously milder than the Delta variant, and we're able to proceed in the way that we are. But that's one reason, and one reason only, why we're able to do that. And that's because such a huge proportion of the British public have come forward to get vaccinated, and particularly to get boosted. And we've done about 32.5, maybe more, million booster jabs now. And that is allowing us to go ahead with New Year in the cautious way that we are. But I cannot stress too much how vital it is for everybody to get that booster jab, particularly the 2.4 million people who've had 2 jabs but haven't yet had their booster. They had 2 jabs more than 6 or 7 months ago, so they're eligible for their booster. but they're not yet coming forward to get it. So I would say to people, come forward and get your booster. It's a fantastic thing to do. It makes a huge amount of difference to you. It protects you. And I'm sorry to say this, but the overwhelming majority of people who are currently ending up in intensive care in our hospitals are people who are not boosted. I've talked to doctors who say the numbers are running up to 90% of people in intensive care who are not boosted. If you're not vaccinated, you're 8 times more likely to get into hospital altogether. So it's a great thing to do. It's very, very important. Get boosted for yourself and enjoy New Year sensibly and cautiously.
Why have you acted differently to the other devolved nations?
I think that we've looked at the balance of the risks together. We generally concert our strategies together. We see the data showing that yes, the cases are rising, and yes, hospitalizations are rising, but what is making a huge difference is the level of booster resistance, the level of vaccine-induced resistance in the population. And what we need to do now is really finish off that work. And I've no doubt at all that by January the 1st, by the new year, every adult in the country will have been offered the slot to get a booster. They'll be given a slot to get one. The question is, are we getting people coming forward to take advantage of those slots? And that's what needs to happen.
There's a lot of stuff in the press about people going over the border in Wales and Scotland to come to England for the new year. What do you make of that?
I think everybody should enjoy New Year, but in a cautious and sensible way. Take a test, ventilation, think about others, but above all, get a booster.
What have you seen that they have not? Why have you acted differently?
We're looking at the data, and what we're seeing is that we've got cases certainly going up. We've got a lot of cases of Omicron, but on the other hand, we can see the data about the relative mildness of Omicron, and what we can also see is the very, very clear effect of getting those jabs, getting those boosters in particular, and that's what's making a huge difference. According to some of the surveys I've seen, 90% of the patients in ICU are people who are not boosted. So think about that. Think about the risk you're running with your own health if you fail to get a booster.
A final question from ITN.
Yes.
Where have you been for the last 10 days?
I've been in this country. Why do you think?
Boris Johnson there giving an update on the COVID situation. Well, our political correspondent Kate McCann was listening in. She's live for us at Westminster. So, Kate, another appeal to people to come forward and get their booster jab.
Yes, the primary focus, seemingly, of that clip with the Prime Minister was the fact that there are a number of people, although he didn't give figures, who've had their first and second vaccination for COVID-19 but have not yet come forward for their booster, even though they are eligible. Of course, after the government changed the number of weeks you had to wait between your second and your booster vaccination. In fact, Boris Johnson there suggesting that 90% of those in intensive care units across the country are those who haven't been boosted. So really an incentive for people to come forward to get that top up and ensure that their immunity is as good as it can possibly be. Now, there are, though, many who question, well, you know, maybe I don't need it. It's not that serious. It's not as serious as the previous iterations of this virus. And while that may well be the case, and that seems to be where the data is pointing, it does still affect some people fairly badly. So clearly that's the message the Prime Minister wants to get across today. But there are many, including critics across the media and in the Conservative Party too, who say that the government really now needs to be looking to reduce the isolation period to relieve the pressure on the NHS and the rest of the economy from 7 days, of course it's been reduced from 10 days, now 7 days if you test negative on day 6 and 7, to even more like 5 days or no isolation period.
Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and this is Starr Radio UK, the morning show.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, that is a wonderful way to say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and say a massive welcome to the show. Let me say special good morning to
right on time, you know. And if he said it, surely he meant it. And if he meant
the one and only Kojo D in South London. To Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer in the studios this morning as well. And I say special good morning to Felix all the way in Aberdeen as well. Felix, I hope you are doing very well. Massive good morning to you. And a special good morning goes to Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, all out of town. We'll be coming back pretty soon. Massive morning to you all. Hope you are all doing good. Yeah, cool? Let me take this opportunity to also say good morning to the one and only Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yake. Dr. Morton, massive good morning to you. Mr. David Kluche, long time no hear, no see. I hope you are doing very well and the family as well. To all our lovely listeners, those of you in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and those of you on the African continent as well, I salute you all. Of course, even when I say US, I'm just okay, so my apologies. In the Americas, I got it right. North and South of America. Yeah, massive good morning to you all. But I want to beseech you, my brethren, by the mercies of God, to share this broadcast with your friends and loved ones. It's always a delight to come before your presence and serve you breakfast. Come branch, as I normally do. But wherever you are, stay tuned, don't touch the dial. It is a Wednesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 29th day of December, the year 2021. And of course, the Wednesday edition of the morning show finishes exactly at 12 o'clock. So get yourself geared up. If you're standing, hold on to something. If you're sitting, sit very comfortably. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And let's take a journey. Let me say good morning to Tosino all the way in Moscow as well. Tosino, I hope you are doing very, very well. And all my Japanese listeners, where it's snowing like no man's business, where a lot of snow is still expected there, I salute you all. Let's welcome. Come on, have it. How is Minnesota? I know it snowed heavily there as well. Okay, dokie, no. I remain yours sincerely.
This is the morning show with Archie.
There is nothing that any good, cool reggae tune in the morning cannot solve, especially when it's a gospel one as well. My goodness. Yeah, give me some reggae tune this morning. Whoops. Hey, yeah man. Let me speak one patwa. Wagwan. Yeah, that's the one that I know, you know. That's the only one I can speak as well. But welcome to the show. Alright, so I'm going to bring you the quotes of the day, the weather forecast, and the travel updates will follow suit as well. Go around, look at some of the stories making the rounds global trotting. And then after that, we will come back to have a look at some of the stories in details. Looking at from Nigeria to all other parts of the world. We'll try to review the year 2021 as much as we can. But remember, Friday I'll be having Mr. Kojodi as well. And then we'll be looking at some of the other stories in details. But wherever you are, you can join in the conversation. You can post your comments on our Facebook page. And then at 11:30, when the lines are open, you can hop in and bring your take on it. Then at 12 o'clock, I take you to the Scottish Parliament, where Nicola Sturgeon is inviting all parliamentarians to come back for a sitting because of the spike in the infection rate in Scotland. So this and a lot more going to be coming your way. Are we learning to live with the virus? It's like, yeah, we take it like we all have, what do you call it, flu. You sneeze a bit, you have a cough a bit, you have a bit of sore throat a bit, you have a bit of temperature, you take your Lemsip and all those stuff, and then the next moment pass you're okay. Maybe it's about time we do so. But everything is gonna be alright, as Akasibrin Point is saying this morning. But still I'm trusting. God is working. Let me say a special good morning to Chris Fideli, CEO of my apologies, CEO of Gabby Dave. And then to Mr. Dantabri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services as well. And to all my presenters on Starr Radio UK, KB Bossman, Vicky Newton, Charlotte Odum, BB Clement, Simeon Frazier, Nanefia Sawarakoto, Regina Enima Empress. Massive good morning to you all. And management as well. Let me say a special good morning to Lottie, to Auntie Mary, to Apostle Henry Bruce, Brother HB. And let me explain my special greetings to my able producer Oba Frances, who is not in the studio. She does a production out of studio, you know. Yeah, man. Hey, my brother Kwame, Chale Tete no Heche. And somebody will say, Ebeshiko running. All right, then, to Mr. Isaac Makiva and all the Makivas in US. I salute you all. Okay, so the quote for the day says, a good leader is able to take a group of individuals with different skills and personalities and form them into a cohesive, effective unit. So if you're a leader and you are not able to be doing this, then check. A good leader is able to take a group of individuals with different skills and personalities and form them into a cohesive, effective unit. And that is what Starr Radio UK does. From different walks of life and different personalities, and we still make sure that we bring you everything tailor-measured for your needs. What about that? Welcome once again, Mr. Dave West, Maestro. Let me say massive good morning to you as well, and to your wife Jenny. Okay, moving on straight to the weather front. On the weather front, this afternoon we'll see mostly cloudy skies with there will be a few brighter spells in places, but it will remain quite breezy and exceptionally mild day as again. And this evening will be dry with clear spells. Overnight clouds will increase and there is the chance of a shower or two drifting in from the west. A mild night expected as well. When it comes to the temperature is going to be exactly 16 degrees and the lowest 13 degrees. Very, very mild. UV level is going to be low. Pollution is going to be low. Sunset 15:59 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 08:06 hours. And as I would say, that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you. It is Starr Radio UK. Well, there are still travels going on, so let's take the travel update. Stay tuned.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Yes, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you updated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40 now, exactly 10:50. Yes, so what is your travels like on the underground this morning? Still, we have minor delays due to train cancellations on the second line. And then when we move on straight to the Piccadilly line as well, there's part closure until Thursday. Yes, December 30. No service between Rayners Lane and Uxbridge. Please use Metropolitan Line services instead. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. Now on the Waterloo line, Waterloo and City lines as well, as you know, there is part closure. That aside, all the other underground lines have got good service. Now moving on straight to the TF rail as well. There are minor delays between Liverpool Street and Shenfield while they fix a signal failure in the Bethnal Green area. On the DLR as well, until the 31st of December, no service between Bank, Suk Tower, Gateway and Popular West India Quay. So if you can avoid it, please do your best to avoid it. If not, if you are stuck, then they continue to listen to us, because I promise you, as and when there are any changes, I'll bring it to the fore. Check it out. Now, on the landing overground as well, there's some delays there as well. Changes to Gospel Oak to Barking service from Tuesday the 28th until Thursday the 30th December. A reduced Saturday timetable will run between Gospel Oak and Barking. 0625 train from Gospel Oak to Barking will start from Upper Holloway at 0629. The following trains will not run from Barking to Gospel Oak. 0642, 0809, 0939, 1109, and a lot more from there. Check before you leave. But of course, keep your eyes on the roads. Now, on the riverbank this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that is suspended, all the others have got good service. Now, moving on straight to the National Rail. Cross Country has got special service, Gatwick Express special service, Great Northern special service, Great Western Railway special service, Great Anglia special service, London North Eastern Railway special service, Northern Rail special service, Scott Rail special service. Oh, special service there. Southwestern Railway special service, Southern special service, and Transport for Wales special service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. If you're traveling via any of those lines, please check before you leave. Now, on the final segment on the major routes in London, A4 has got closures. Central London Red routes closures there as well. And as I would say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform. Track your shipment. online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
May not see it, but still I'm trusting. God is working, He is working, He is working. Tell you, God is working, working, working. Let me say, God is working. Tell you, everybody, He's up to something. I may not see it, still I'm trusting. 'Cause God is working, working, working. God is working, working, working. He never sleep or slumber. My God, the promise keeper, sees every tear that falls. Every tear that falls. My God is never late, and He is never late. He's always there, right on time. Right on time, you know. And if He said it, surely He meant it. And if He meant it, surely He will do it. God is working, He's up to something. I may not see it, still I'm trusting. God is working, working, working.
Okay, welcome back to the program. God is working and it's up to something. Let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi and to the one and only GL. Now you don't know who the GL is. She's a GL lady.
Send me, say, everything is gonna be.
Massive good morning to you all. And just many of you who have tuned in, watching us live on our apps. And those of you hiding behind the scenes watching us that we don't see you, I salute you all. Thank you very much. Because of you that we are still able to come each day, sit here and bring you this program. So now it's now time for us to look at some of the stories making the rounds. You know what? We've got only about an hour to bring the program to a close because it is the Wednesday edition of the morning show. But those of our listeners who join us on the Command Your Morning Time by the Power Word International. Yeah, there's not going to be a live program until Friday. And then they will be off on Saturday as well. But God willing, next week we'll resume full blown. And let me take this opportunity to say good morning to the team, Reverend Michael Esiama and Minister Emmanuel Agbleke. Good morning to you all. So join us every weekday, not every weekday, from Wednesdays to Saturday from 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. or let me say from 5:30 a.m. That's it. So that you can command your morning before you leave home. You take control over the day. All right then, a bit of preaching there. Let me say a massive amen. Amen. We finished church now. All right then. Okay, so looking at some of the stories making around this morning. Warning of Apache lateral flow COVID test supply as more and more people seek rapid tests. Pharmacists say staff and customers are stressed over supplies. And it's very, very true. I've gone round and round and round trying to get some test kits, but none.
He is never late,
So are you facing the same thing? I want you to share your story with us. Because you know what is keeping us ticking along nicely or going on is that the fact that you can do a test to find out whether you have tested positive, so that you don't go to the next person and then some way somehow infect the person or. So looking at the speed at which we do the testing now, virtually like every day, I mean, if you're one that goes out a lot, then you have to be virtually trying to do that so that you make sure that your people or your family or your close friends or the people that you relate with or you have come into contact with are all safe. Well, how are we going to be managing this, you know? What's the issue is we have to learn to live with this. It's going to be a time where it's going to be like normal flu. Some will take flu jab, others wouldn't take it. They'll go through it. They'll have a bit of flu. You go close to them, you get infected, and then you're okay. We just shift it or shake it off.
It's gonna be alright.
But how is it going to be? England's isolation system, the right one, minister is saying.
Be alright. Every little thing is
well, that is the 7th day. Okay, US report covering record as Europe's cases soar. And the police officer has been sacked over murder scene selfies. And what is all this craze about these selfies? So you want to find, or you are you're on security duty at a particular at a site of or a scene of a crime, and you want to take selfies. Hey, see me, I'm standing by a dead body. Ooh, what is all that about? Or was he celebrating the fact that, oh, see me, I'm a Caucasian standing by a black person who is dead? I mean, doesn't make sense. I don't know what goes on in some people's heads though. All right then, I want to know what you think about all that. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Care system puts vulnerable teens at risk. A report is saying a review suggests that there are too few residential places and some children are targeted by criminals.
Working out for my goal.
And there have been 50 firefighters tackling Belfast Harbour estate blaze. The scrap metal recycling plant is on fire and the smoke can be seen across most of the city. It's quite a scary one. And unfortunately, with these restrictions and the COVID infections and everything, UK air travel sees huge slump in 2021 due to COVID. International flights to and from the UK fell to just 400,000 this year, says analytics firm Serial. Why do you remember the Isolate Britain protests? Well, they go around the block, blocking every road and going on the motorway, causing all that kind of death. Why they saying that estimating it that it costs the economy £4 million. What is in London, Manchester, Hertfordshire, and Surrey spent more than 4.3 million to please the protests. Just in pleasing the protests. But you imagine the lost man hours that people who were caught in that traffic, what it cost them, lives that were lost as well due to this or impacted negatively. Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The Hong Kong news website to shut after police raid. Now, 7 people linked to Star News are arrested for conspiracy to publish a seditious publication. Now, I tell you that now, press freedom in Hong Kong, gone. You dare do it?
He's always there, right on time.
Now, a U.S. teen who was shredded by police died in the mother's arm. The parents of a 14-year-old girl killed by a stray police bullet while shopping demand justice. While she was shopping, demands justice. At times, the knee-jerk reaction, or when a situation happens, and then somebody will say that when a police person is confronted with a situation, they have to make instant decision as to what to do. But as to whether these individuals at a particular time have got that sane mind to make a right move is something. But But this time around, this is a Caucasian as well. So you ask yourself, what exactly took place? All right then, it is Starr Radio UK. U.S. Civil War era time capsule opened in Virginia. It's one of the stories as well.
Every little thing is gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. My God is not a liar.
Well, in Israel, they are still fighting to also control the avian flu outbreak as well. Apart from the COVID, they are fighting to control avian flu. We've not finished with one. Another one rears its ugly head. And there is a fight in Jordan's parliament caught on live stream. Well, it's not only in Ghana, but the argument began as the chamber debated constitutional reforms, including gender equality. And some people say, "Yen Chiobia."
Every day, every hour is working, Everything is working. Everything is working. Working out for my good. Working out for my good.
Well, friends are shot masks for sermons defending jihad. What do you think, guys? What? Do I being strong-handed there? I'm going to bring you more on that. You think something that can't be copied? I mean, back here, I mean, if we have a cleric who is maybe towing a particular line that the security agency is saying that this is one that could be inciting people, they can take that person on. But to shut the whole mosque, people will say, well, there are some people who are in there who are not towing the line of this individual. Unless, of course, the whole of the hierarchy or the clergy there have the same mind. We'll be looking at that as well. 8 minutes past 11 the time. Starr Radio UK, the station, the morning show, the program. God is working, is working, He's working as I'm working here as well.
God is working, He is working, He is working. Tell you, God is working.
Now, Indonesia has lifted a ban on Boeing 737 MAX plane. The announcement came just a day after Ethiopian Airlines said it will resume 737 MAX flights. But what confidence do passengers have in flying on these jets?
God is working,
Well, Save the Children says Myanmar Army have killed their staff. The charity says 2 of its workers, both new fathers, are among the 35 bodies found on 24th of December. Oh my goodness.
Sees every tear that
Moving on straight to the African continent as well.
My God is never LA, and He is.
Well, in South Africa, the courts have blocked Shell oil exploration environmentalists hailed the ruling as a victory in their effort to protect marine life. Okay, you know, at times I look at this and I get a bit confused. Now, we know the vehicles that we are using. We know the plants that we are using to generate electricity. We know everything that we are using. We need fossil fuel. Okay, now this is a case where oil exploration, they said that, well, for the marine life, we need to leave the marine life alone. Yes, I understand that. But if that is going to impact us, now we're looking at the energy prices here in the UK and we're thinking, oh, what is going to happen next year? So what do you think? Do we give them some corporate responsibilities so that they can see to it that, be stringent on that, making sure that they save the environment, they protect the environment and the marine lives there? And go on to explore or do this oil exploration, and then we can make some money out of it, or we say, oh no, but for the sake of the marine life, let's leave everything, let everybody stop drilling for environmental sake, and then let's sit like that and let's buy things very expensive where we don't have the means to get that one as well. I want to know your take on all that. So coming away from Starr Radio UK.
And if He meant it, God is working. It's up to something. I may not see it.
Well, the funeral arrangements and everything, celebrations is still going on in South Africa for the late Desmond Tutu, and the daughter has said, that is Nontombi Naomi Tutu says her father went to meet his God ready and willing. at 90, of course, I'll be willing and ready to say, I come home. I am coming, Lord.
Working out for my good. Working out for my good.
Now, Tunisia is to borrow $7 billion more in 2022. Now, borrowing is not bad, is it? But the question is, what has it been used for in the past? Are people being judicious to all the funds and the loans that we go for as African countries or developing countries as? Now, landslides for African incumbents. Zambia opposition upsets Lungu. African youth, okay? We'll be looking at that in a moment. When it comes to Nigeria as well, the story is still going on there, and it's saying that pay our gratuity after 12 years. Retired journalists beg Okeredolu after 12 years. You are still begging for your gratuity to be paid. Are they doing you a favor, or is it something that you work for that you need to be given? Whoa. Now, RFI is to spend 6 billion naira on Kaduna General Hospitals in 2022, and government demand 50 million naira ransom to release kidnapped Plateau monarch. Oh my. Insecurity. Federal government deploys drones everywhere, says Stan Labo. This is another one we're going to be looking at in a moment. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, back in Ghana as well, Parliament is to consider tax exemption bill next meeting. Right on time, But you ask yourself the question once again: who are the companies? Who are the organizations that are enjoying this tax exemption? They are making huge profits. Okay. Some get these exemptions for what? A lifetime. Let me put it that way. And it's might say, for the first 3 or 4 years of the introduction or the inception of the company, and once they get in. But at times I sit back and look at these stories, and I ask myself the question: if those who are making the big hooks, making the big sums of money, are being let off, then they will say that, well, let these small individuals, let these little poor people in our communities rather pay 1.75 of their 100 Ghana cities on every Momo transaction that is done. And you say the big hooks should just go away with those monies. You give them all the exemptions. And when governments are in power, I can get my cronies to come in. Oh, look, I'm putting up a hotel, I'm putting up this, and I need some exemptions there because the materials, the costs are quite high, and they make all the profits and just find ways and means to also avoid paying the taxes that is meted to them as well. What do you think about all this? Well, 11:15 the time. Starr Radio UK, the station. I am Archie. We'll be looking into those stories in a moment. Political story as well in Ghana. Government may not meet deadline for completing Agenda 111. Africa Center for Health Policy is saying, well, if they're going to be waiting for the president to go around to be cutting all sword, do all the sword cutting in every community where they are doing this Agenda 111, well, I bet you they will not have enough time to do it. The African Center for Health Policy, CEF. Okay, they got different names, so says government may not meet its timeline in completing health facilities under the Agenda 111 project. The ASF Executive Director Ahmed Fahan, in an interview, said, revealed that checks across the country indicate no sign of progress at the project sites. Well, of course, they're waiting for the president to come to cut the swords and maybe come to supervise as well. We are some arrest my case. But it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK.
God is working. Tell you everybody. He's up to something. I may not see it. Still I'm trusting.
Well, the national organizer, hopeful of the National Democratic Congress, Joseph Yamin, is advocating for the impeachment of President Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo following the numerous cases of corruption under his leadership. Joseph Yamin is unhappy about the government's inability to probe allegations leveled against President Akufo-Addo by a certain Sewa Broni of a state-sponsored robbery attack. This and a lot more going to be coming your way in details. Wherever you are, don't touch the dial. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Enjoy the rest of the music and then I'll be with you.
I may not see it, still I'm trusting. God is working, working, working. God is working, 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 Me say, everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. This is Radio. All the son of man that he should repay. If he said it, then he meant it. And if he meant it, he would do it. It's up to something. I may not see it. Oh, Lord of mercy. Still I'm trusting. My God is working, working, working. Every day, every hour is working, working, working. Everything is working. Everything is working. Working out for my good. Working out for my good. Everything is working. Everything is working. Working out for my good. Working out for my good. I will keep holding on, holding on, and I will keep moving on, moving on. Said I will keep holding on, holding on, and I will keep moving on.
Of course, you don't need to give up. You don't need to give in. You have to still keep on holding on. Because as they say in the song, if God has said it, yes, surely he will do it. Yes, because he meant it. That is for you. Maybe I'm speaking to somebody this morning. May you continue to hold on to the promises of God wherever you might be this morning. Okay, it's now gone 20 minutes past the top of the hour. So now let's go into some of the details of the stories that we touched on. Of course, as I say, from archaeology to zoology, if it's made the headlines, why not? We'll touch on it. But as you know, we should have been bringing you updates from Nigeria. So let me quickly touch on some of the stories, a couple of stories from Nigeria, and then we come to the UK to look at the stories from the UK front as well. But as you know, if you are listening to us from Nigeria this morning, I know it's afternoon now in Nigeria. Don't you worry. Come next year, when I say next year, don't think that is far off. It's not far off. It's how many days time? In 3 days time. Oh, no. Yeah, in 3 days time we'll be in the next year. We'll be in 2022, of course. Because today is the 29th. I'm thinking that today is the 28th, you know. But whatever it is, we're going to be going into the new year. But From the we'll be having Miss Olabiko keep bringing you updates from Nigeria exactly at 11 o'clock as we do all the time, or we've done in the past. Okay. But Governor Nasir Al-Rufai, a government has embarked, has earmarked 6 billion naira for upgrading and equipping general hospitals across Kaduna in 2022. This is contained in the 2022 budget of the 278.6 billion naira signed into law by Al-Rufai on December 22. In the document, 15.7 billion was earmarked for the health ministry as capital expenditure, out of which 7.4 billion will be expended on ongoing construction and equipping of the 300-bed specialist hospitals. Now it also showed that now 282.9 million was allocated for the construction of isolation centers, procurement of consumables, COVID-19 interventions, and other public health emergency programs. The Kaduna government allocated 51.6 million naira to construct and renovate the standard accident and emergency unit at the General Hospital Kafachen, Saminaka, Bemin, Gwari, and Hajia Gambo Sawaba General Hospital, Zaria. The construction of a new college of nursing and midwifery, Pambegua, got 281.7 million naira. The document showed 17.4 million naira was earmarked for 20 blood bank refrigerators for blood transfusion services in 20 secondary health facilities. The document also showed that 370 million naira was allocated for constructing a trauma center at Doka, while 28.9 million was also earmarked for medical equipment maintenance across the 31 secondary health facilities. That's kudos to them. Now, I mean, provided those monies are going to be used for the purpose that we're not going to be seeing any what do you call it, misuse of public funds. That is okay. Now, moving on straight to some other story that is still making the rounds in Nigeria as well. Now, payout gratuity after 12 years, a retired journalist is begging Akeredolu. Now, the question or the issue is, retired journalists and other staff members of Owena Press Limited, publishers of the Hope newspaper, have appealed to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu to pay their outstanding gratuity of over 12 years. The Hope newspaper is owned by the Ondo State government. Now, chairman of the Forum of Retired Staff of Owena Press, Mr. Banji Ayola, in a statement said, just bear with me. In a statement, said, my apologies. The chairman of the Forum of Retired Staff of Owena Press, Mr. Banji Ayola, in a statement said, the non-payment of gratuity has turned many of them into beggars in their old age, and that shouldn't happen. Ayola, who retired as the editor, stated that the health challenges of members of the forum had worsened over the years. Okay. Now, Ayola, who retired as the editor, stated that the health challenges of members of the forum had worsened over the years. He said the forum first wrote a letter of appeal to the governor in 2019, but they were not paid despite the letter being acknowledged. It goes on further to say, he said the forum first wrote, the statement read in part, it's sad and saddening that there is nothing merry in the ongoing festive season for our members, many of who are wallowing in penury and battling age-related illness. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, the final story from Nigeria, then we can bring the updates from Nigeria to close and move on to some of the other stories, because then we'll have only 30 minutes. 34 minutes to bring the program to a close. As of course, it's a Wednesday edition of the morning show. Now, former Army Intelligence Officer Colonel Hassan Stan Labo, retired, has asked the federal government to deploy drones in the fight against insecurity across the country. Now, Nigeria has been grappling with a series of security challenges ranging from banditry to terrorism, kidnappings, militancy, calls for secession, among others. Now, in the northwest, Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara, Kaduna, Sokoto, Kebbi have witnessed incessant attacks by terror groups. Now, hundreds of people have been killed or kidnapped in Katsina this year, with thousands more displaced from their homes. But speaking this morning, Labo said technology is not playing the needed role in the Northeast. Now, in the court, he said, "What are drones for, Christ's sake? By now, these things should be everywhere. I wonder what is really holding us back from taking some of these steps." Now, today, we have fantastic drones in the market that will carry out surveillance capabilities, he said. But can you just imagine? He goes on further to say, let me finish that and then I'll chip in. Now, all you need to do is sit at an operations room, give out the command, pressing the buttons, and the drones will be easy doing all the jobs, sending in results and so on. By now, we should be engaging drones. The retired army officer also called for more welfare packages for servicemen, saying lucrative salaries will boost the morale of the armed forces. Of course, I agree with him 100%. If I'm going to do all that, and at the end of the day, my gratuity is so pending for 12 years, as some people are, then what is the point? Why do I sacrifice myself for others? I might not do that. Well, the retired army officer also called for more welfare packages for servicemen, saying lucrative salaries will boost the morale of the armed forces. And in addition, he wants the government to consider the plights of officers who put in much effort serving the country only to be abandoned upon retirement. According to him, the current administration has not done much to enhance manpower in the nation's security architecture. Now, why are we still delaying whatever we need to do concerning the enhancement of manpower within the security sector, looking at the armed forces and even the police? He goes on further to say, I have not yet seen a reasonable level of urgency being exerted by this government to see that we enhance on manpower. Manpower has become a major problem with us all in the military. Likewise, the police, he added. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:29. Okay, now a quick break and then we come to the UK front. We'll be looking at some of the story that is made the rounds here, looking at them in details. Have you been to the pharmacy shop and happened that you didn't get your hand on a lateral flow test? So, how are you doing your test? How are you sure that you're okay and therefore you are able to go out and go about doing your normal chores, as government is not putting any further restrictions in place? Now, I want to know what your take is on that. Yeah? But let's take this quick break, and once we come back, I'll bring you more on that front. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:32. That means that I've got 28 minutes more to stay with you. But wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Let's go on and let's enjoy the rest of the program as well. Okay. So, the lines are open if you want to hop in to add your voice to the discussions. It is 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. And then, those of you in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area is 0017183032737. 0017183032737. And those of you who like texting or WhatsApping, yes, it's 07539661744. 07539661744. And then we will also we are on Twitter as well. Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK. Email address is info@starradiouk.com. Whatever it is, don't lose out. Make sure you get in touch. Okay. Yes. Just bear with me. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. Looking at what I did say earlier on. Now, warnings over patchy lateral flow test supply, and it says that pharmacists are warning of patchy supplies of rapid COVID tests following changes to self-isolation rules. They said demand for lateral flow tests is increased after changes allowed people with COVID to leave isolation after 7 days if they test negative. The Association of Independent Multiple Pharmacies said staff and customers were stressed over the lack of supply. A record 117,093 cases were reported in England on Tuesday, but UK patients' numbers remain below January's peak. So far, the surge in cases driven by Omicron has not led to a similar sharp rise in hospital admissions, even taking into account the lag between infection and hospital treatment. Now, partial data from the UK nations means a full national picture will only be available again in the first week of January. The warnings about supply of rapid lateral flow COVID tests come after several changes to self-isolation rules. Those who test positive for COVID can now leave home after 7 days as long as they test negative via lateral flow devices on day 6 and 7. Okay, so if you have tested positive, don't be scared. That is the new rules or guide at the moment. All right then. Yes, so now let's move on to some other stories as well. A couple of them before we go straight to some of the ones making the rounds on the African continent, which I know you really want to. Well, the Scots have been urged not to travel to England for the new year. Oh, my brother Felix would have come to visit me. Now they are not being allowed to travel to to England. And now Johnny Sweeney says traveling to England where nightclubs are still open will be the wrong course of action. Whoa, would have gone clubbing. You know, myself and my brother, we don't go any clubbing. Felix, I hope you are doing very well. I bet you'll be laughing. Well. You don't know. We'll go to our younger days and then we'll go clubbing a bit, you know. Well, Starr Radio UK. Now, in Interestingly, a Merseyside police officer has been sacked over murder scene selfies. The story says a police officer who took selfies at the murder scene where a teenager was stabbed has been sacked. Now, PC Ryan Connolly, who worked for Merseyside police, also shared racist and homophobic pictures and took photos of mentally ill people being sectioned. Now, Merseyside police said 37-year-old was sacked for gross misconduct after an anti-corruption investigation. Now, officers had found severely offensive photos taken between 2015 and 2018, the force said. So why didn't he delete them? Knowing, at times people do things where they don't know. At the time wasn't, let me put it that way, the sign that I've made. At the time wasn't that. But do you think that it was right for him? Maybe he thought that maybe he's hiding it somewhere that nobody will see, and lo and behold, booha, he came out. But Merseyside police force, well done for cracking the whip there. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now in the US as well, reports coming through saying that infection rate is high as Europe's Omicron cases also soar. The US and several European countries have reported their highest daily rises in COVID cases since the pandemic began as the Omicron variant spreads. More than 440,000 new cases were recorded in the US on Monday, health officials said. And France, Italy, Greece, Portugal, and England have also reported record numbers of daily infections. Officials have said the high figures could be due in part to reporting delays over the Christmas period. So maybe come today up to maybe the first, we'll be seeing maybe a downward trend of the infection rates. Who knows? But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, interestingly, another story coming through. The founding commander of SEAL Team 6 has died, age 81. Richard Mandinko played a vital role in boosting America's counter-terrorism capabilities, but was a divisive figure. Well, he is passed on, age 81. And whatever it is, so you don't say ill about the dead. So may he so rest in perfect peace. Do you agree with that? Well, Starr Radio UK. The final story from the US front. Now, a mother whose 14-year-old girl was accidentally killed by a stray police bullet in Los Angeles says her daughter died in my daughter died in my arms. Valentina Orellana Peralta was with her mother in a clothes shop on 23rd December when an officer opened fire on a suspect. The bullet pierced a wall and hit her. Now, Soledad Peralta wept as she described begging officers to help her daughter, but they just left her lying there. In a statement read by a lawyer, Mrs. Peralta recounted how she and her daughter heard a commotion and screaming outside the changing room while trying on dresses for a birthday party at the North Hollywood department store. They sat down together, hugged each other, and prayed. Mrs. Peralta said she felt something hit her daughter, throwing them both to the ground. She said Valentina's body went limp, and she tried to wake her up by shaking her, but she didn't wake up. Valentina died in her arms. Mrs. Peralta said, but how come that the police didn't, when she was shouting for help, why did the police not go to her aid? What was going on in their heads at the time? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Another manslaughter coming on. Well, it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on to Asia, looking at some of these stories. A couple of stories. Oh, this one in the middle is now Jordan MPs were caught fighting in Parliament. A session live streamed on local television. A session of a parliament in Jordan discussing constitutional reforms descended into a fistfight, which was live streamed to local television. The argument began as the chamber debated adding the Arabic female noun for a Jordanian citizen into the constitution section on equal rights, an amendment branded by some MPs as useless. And because of that, those who were not in for decided to fist bump their opponents, and it was all called live. Now, what do we do to some people? Is it the question that I ask myself is it passion, out of passion of whatever their beliefs are, makes them go to that extent that they want to do everything to defend that passion, to defend that particular issue that is going on. That's what has caused that. Do they have to be brought to justice now? Do they have to be brought to court to face the full rigors of the law? Okay. And then it's not only them. Ted Brown in 2 days in Armenian parliament as well. It's one of the stories making the rounds there. And then there was a brown erupting in Turkish parliament over Syria as well. And Taiwan lawmakers throw big guts and punches. Also in parliament. And New Zealand Maori MP kicked out after hacker. So it's something that is going on. Our MPs now going, our lawmakers now all going cuckoos. Well, it's all Starr Radio. Okay, 17 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. The morning show, the program. I am Archie. Stay tuned. We're going to be bringing the program to a close pretty soon. But I promise you, tomorrow I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be having a lot of time looking at some of the stories that has made the round. But I want to know your take on that. What has made your headlines for the year? The top of your stories for the year 2021. Which is the highest and which is the lowest? Well, Kojo yesterday said the Trump invasion of the capital was his highest. The fact that he said we won't agree to the elections, and the fact that they wouldn't allow whatever was going on in the invasion that took place was his highest. Now, what do you think? What is your highest? Well, somebody say COVID, but I wouldn't say COVID. I might say something else, and you might have something up your sleeve. I want to know that. But well, independent outlet to close after senior staff arrested. That Stand News. The story says one of the last pro-democracy media organization in Hong Kong, Stand News, is shutting down after it was raided by police and senior staff were arrested. 7 people, both current and former employees, were detained by Hong Kong police for conspiracy to publish seditious publications. Now, because of the situation, Stand News is ceasing operations immediately, the organization said in a Facebook post. Now, more than 200 police officers were sent to raid the publication office. Hong Kong police said in a statement they were authorized to search and seize relevant journalistic materials. In a post on Facebook, Stand News said it will no longer be updating its website and will be removing its social media content within a day. This morning, the police arrested a number of senior and former senior staff of the company and took many people away to assist in the investigation, the statement reads. Now, it adds the computers and documents were seized from its office and that it will be assisting the police with their inquiry. Those arrested, 3 men and 4 women, are aged between 34 and 73 years old. Well, is it the end of democracy as we see it here in the West, in Hong Kong? Knowing that the mainland China is now cracking the whip, dictating the pace. And well, Hong Kong was depending on its former colonial master, and that is the UK. But to what end? Now they find themselves in this debacle. What do you think? Well, it's all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Straight onto the African continent as well. Now, elections are a major feature of the news agenda this year, 2021, I mean, something that we've talked about a great deal. It was no different. Presidential, parliamentary, and local elections were held across the continent. Now, incumbents were retained, and the right of opposition was witnessed elsewhere. As part of our review in 2021 news, Africa, we are looking at presidential polls in East Africa, Uganda, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. We have Museveni winning election. I mean, doing everything to stifle the voting by opposition. We had Bobby Wine being arrested and all, and then we have Gambia, we have Benin, we have Niger, Sao Tome, Principe, and Cape Verde all going to the polls, and different results coming in. Some incumbents being voted back into power, and others losing it. But well, I tell you, tomorrow I'm going to be looking into some of those stories for you. But what is your take? And the coup d'etat that happened on the African continent, or takeover, or the reshaking of the African continent or various countries by the military, making sure that the rights of the people are not trampled upon. Someone would say that, well, that is not democracy. But well, when the rule of law decide not to work, then we have to get some people to come in to make the law work. And that is what the military has done. I know people will be angry at that, saying that, well, whatever it is, we don't need them to do so. But hey, it is Starr Radio UK. The South Africa court blocks Shell's oil exploration, and I've been asking the question now. In a key ruling, a South African court blocked Shell from using seismic wave to explore oil and gas in the Indian Ocean yesterday. Now, so what? Are they stopping that? And do we have people in the community who are desperate, needing work, needing money? How do we solve that? Now, how do we go, harnessing this oil or exploring, doing this exploratory work to get all this oil, and at the same time protecting the environment and making sure that the inhabitants of these particular areas are also benefiting from that? How would that work? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on straight to Ghana as well. Have a look at some of the stories making the round. Parliament is expected to give attention to Exemption Bill 2021 when sitting resumes next year. The bill, which was led by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on November 16, November 16, 2021, is currently before the Finance Committee. The bill seeks to streamline and rationalize the current exemption regime on taxes, levies, fees, and charges to improve domestic revenue mobilization by consolidating the already existing statutory provisions on tax and other exemptions, and to provide for the administration of exemptions. The bill has been in and out of Parliament for a while now. It expired with the 7th Parliament after it was laid and referred to the Finance Committee. There are, however, moves to ensure the current bill is passed before leaving the House of the Legislature this time around. Now, Ghana loses over 5 billion Ghanaian cedis every year through tax exemptions. Now, according to the Institute of Economic Affairs, the Ghana Revenue Authority has had a cause to complain about the revenues lost to granting of indiscriminate exemptions. Now, speaking at the stakeholders roundtable discussions on the 2021 tax exemptions bill, head of the exemptions for GRA, Mrs. Adelaide Bachwe declared steps must be taken to check abuse of the exemptions regime. Now, past beneficiaries, they are enormous, but when you look at the percentage critically, it appears the exemptions are even overweighing the revenue we are collecting. Interesting. And then the abuses are also on a higher side, but GRA is trying as much as possible to monitor the exemptions and curb the abuses, she said. The Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has assured the bill will be passed in the next meeting of Parliament, which starts in January 2022. Do you think Parliament will pass it? With the impasse that has gone on before Parliament went on recess, well, Now, some civil society, including the Tax Justice Coalition, that's the TJC, the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, the GACC, and the Parliamentary Network of Africa, PN Africa, with support from Oxfam, are on the crusade to get the bill passed. The group has also tabled amendment to the bill in order to curb abuses. Parliament is currently on a break, but chairman for the Finance Committee, Kweku Kwarteng, said the bill will be one of the key pieces of legislation his committee will devote time to when the House resumes. And we'll see what will happen on that front once it's brought back to the chamber for a voting to take place on it. All right then, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the program very close to the tail end of the program. The African Center for Health Policy says government may not meet its timeline in completing health facilities under the Agenda 111 project. Now, ASEF's Executive Director Ahmed Farhan said in an interview that revealed that checks across the country indicate no sign of progress at the project sites. The ambitious Agenda 111 projects include 101 district hospitals, 6 regional hospitals in the newly created regions, 2 specialized hospitals in the middle and northern belt, and a regional hospital in the western region, and the renovation of the Efiankwanta Regional Hospital. Its objective is to provide quality healthcare delivery at the district level. And somebody would say, applaud and say, a good one on that front. But however, government has so far secured $100 million start-up fund through the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund for the commencement of the project. In August 2021, President Akufo-Addo cut short in the Ashanti region to signal the beginning of a hospital project across the country. However, Mr. Farhan noted that although the project is well intended for the country, any delays will further worsen the country's healthcare delivery system. I doubt if we will be able to meet the set timelines. It will definitely affect the project's life cycle. The 12-month target that has been set, I presume, will not be met. 12 months. Well, but you go to the site, there isn't much going on there. But hey, be rest assured, who knows? Maybe they work in the night, and then when you get the daytime, you don't see it. Well, but we wish government the best. I mean, something that they are doing, and we hope that they are able to achieve that, because after all, if they do it, with the loans that they are taking, is the states that is going to be paying the people's taxes that is going to be used in paying that, and therefore it's something that is going to benefit the nation as well. What's wrong with that? The final segment of the program, the final story. Now, Yamin has called for impeachment of Akufo-Addo over corruption and others. Well, the president has also said that, well, if you can actually prove that any of my people has been corrupted, bring it my way and I will see to that. But the national organizer hopeful of the National Democratic Congress, Joseph Yamin, is advocating for the impeachment of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo following the numerous cases of corruption under his leadership. Now, Joseph Yamin is unhappy about the government's inability to probe allegations leveled against President Akufo-Addo by a certain Sewa Brony of a state-sponsored robbery attack. Speaking this morning, Joseph Yamin believes that Sewa Brony's allegations against President Akufo-Addo were true since the government has failed to probe the matter. According to Joseph Yamin, a president who has been impeached elsewhere didn't do what Nana Addo has done, an allegation leveled against him without any probe from the government. If Ghana is a serious country, Nana Addo will never be the president of this country because even Sewa Brony's allegation against him is a serious threat to the nation, Yamin said. Now, Yamin explained if Sewa Brony's allegation against President Akufo-Addo was not true, he would have ordered for a probe into the matter for him to be vindicated. But since he had failed to do so, then it means Sewa Brony told Ghanaians the truth of the matter. Now, President Akufo-Addo's name must be deleted from the history of the country to prevent the next generation from knowing how someone called President Akufo-Addo came to mismanage the resources of the country. Imagine our grandchildren find out to know there was a president who became the most corrupt president of his country during his time, he introduced the PDS, signed a marriage deal without reading the deal, and others, but Ghanaians failed to talk about it. They will realize the country supports and corrupt leaders like President Akufo-Addo. That's what Joseph Yamin is saying. He said, imagine they will realize this country supports corrupt leaders like President Akufo-Addo. Do you think that is a right course? Well, I remember back in the day where Yamin was also caught up in some corrupt deals thereabout. I've forgotten the details of it, but allegedly, okay. But it happened that when she was also taking, what the president did at the time was to move him from one ministry to the other. That's what happened there. Well, so how do you point a finger at somebody? One finger at somebody when the rest are pointing up to you. Well, this is where I bring the program to a close for today. But let me say good afternoon to my lovely, it's still morning. Oh, my apologies, morning to my lovely sister Delta Hammond, all the way in Ghana. Sis, I hope you are doing very, very well. To GL, to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, and to all of you who are hiding behind us and still watching me, I want to say massive thank you to you for joining me today. But this is where I bring the program to a close for today. I'll be here with you tomorrow, God willing, from 10 o'clock once again. It's with me, Archie, and I want to tell you, have a lovely day. But enjoy this tune from Koda, and it says, Made a Way. All the song that I'm bringing you this time around to the end of the year is to inspire you. So, when that song ends and you don't hear from me, it's me, Archie, saying have a top of the day and see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
The first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.